there, movie buffs! Welcome back to Yousaf Reacts. I am Diana and today, we're diving into the Wild West with a quirky twist in our review of the 2024 film Damsel. Directed by Juan Carlos to the Scene, this movie promises to deliver a fresh take on the classic Western genre. So saddle up and let's ride into the review. A dutiful damsel agrees to marry a handsome prince, only to find the royal family has recruited her as a sacrifice to repay an ancient debt. In this new fantasy film, a young woman who thinks she is being married to a perfect prince is thrown into a pit where she discovers she's not going to be a princess after all, but a sacrifice to appease a bloodthirsty dragon. Trying to survive long enough until someone can save her, she soon realizes that no one is coming, and this damsel must save herself. The king of a village called Ori gathers his soldiers to kill a dragon that has been attacking the village. Centuries later, in a different village, Elodie, the daughter of a lord, is helping provide warmth and food to the people in their harsh and cold village. Lord Bayford receives a proposal of marriage from Queen Isabel of Oria for Elodie. While she's hesitant, her father insists that the alliance will help their people, and so she agrees. Upon their arrival, their family is impressed by the grandeur of the palace. Elodie is escorted to her room, and from her balcony, she marvels at the view. She meets the Queen and Prince Henry the next day, and they are impressed by her grace and wit. Elodie and Henry go for a walk so they can get to know each other. She discovers that he shares her passion and desire for traveling. After an attempt to acquaint herself with the Queen gets rebuffed, Lady Bayford, stepmother of Elodie, gets a bad feeling about the wedding and the family. At night, she tells Elodie that this is a mistake and there's still time to change her mind. But Elodie decides to go through with the wedding. After the wedding, Elodie and Henry take a chariot to the mountains, where a group of people wearing gold masks await. The Queen tells the story of the dragon and how the king was given his freedom in exchange for 3 of his daughters. And so began a ritual of sacrificing women for peace. The Queen cuts both Elodie's and Henry's palms, and they join hands, so his royal blood is on her. Henry then carries Elodie and throws her into the chasm under the bridge. Elodie cries out for help, awakening the dragon, who chases her into a cave and breathes fire into the cave, burning Elodie's leg in the process. The dragon seems to enjoy the chase and leaves her to tend to her wounds. After falling down a tunnel, Elodie discovers a part of the cave covered in glowworms. She collects them on her sleeve to use as a source of light. Nearby, she finds a lake, but the water is murky. She sees icicles above, which are feeding water into the lake, and holds her mouth open so water drips into it. The dragon comes back, making the ice melt, and blows fire at Elodie. She runs, escaping into a cave where the dragon cannot reach her. In this cave, she sees the names of all the past princesses carved into the stone. As she sleeps, Elodie dreams about the women who also hid in this cave. One of them draws a map of the maze on the wall, while another, Victoria, tells her it is all a lie. Elodie awakens and finds the slugs have cured her burn wound. Elodie follows the map, hoping to get out. She reaches an overhead tunnel covered in sharp crystals, where she finds Victoria's crown. Using the crystals as ledges, she climbs up the tunnel to a landing where there is an opening, revealing that she is on the side of the mountain and cannot escape from there. The dragon catches up to her and says, 3 taken, 3 must be given. Elodie finds the remains of 3 dead young dragons. It is revealed that the queen lied to her. The king had come into the dragon's lair and provoked and killed her daughters, and that is why she demanded 3 of his daughters. Meanwhile, Elodie's father hired locals to guide him to her so she can be rescued. He calls out to her, and she reaches him at the same time as the dragon. As she hides and watches, the dragon tells her father that Elodie is alive and watching, and that she can smell her royal blood. This prompts her father to order Elodie to remain in hiding. The dragon kills him and starts searching for Elodie. The guide distracts the dragon, so Elodie can say goodbye to her father, who tells her to escape using the ropes and that her stepmother and sister, Floria, are waiting for her at the port. She escapes with her hair, but the dragon leaves the mountain in search of her, forcing her to hide under some rocks. The queen, angry at these events, seizes Floria instead to sacrifice. In the morning, when Elodie reaches her stepmother, Lady Bayford tells her that they took Floria. So she sets out to rescue Floria, retracing her steps from her first time in the cave. She blows up some armor, creating a distraction so she can rescue Floria from the lair. However, the dragon catches up to her, and a fiery fight ensues. Just as Elodie is about to give up, she feels the spirit of the lost princesses with her and provokes the dragon to blow fire. The dragon does, but it bounces off the wall and burns herself. Elodie tells the dragon that they were both lied to. Elodie was told a story about how the dragon wreaked havoc upon the village, and the dragon was fed innocent daughters disguised as royals. The dragon then tells her to end it, but Elodie gets the glow worms to cure the dragon's burns instead. Back at the palace, Henry is being wed to the third and final princess for the sacrifice when Elodie makes an entrance. She convinces the princess to run away, angering the queen. The dragon then comes and sets the palace on fire as Elodie walks away from the palace. In the end, Elodie, Floria, and Lady Bayford set sail home with a bounty of supplies to keep their people sustained. The dragon flies back home with them. Damsel really isn't as subversive as it thinks it is, and takes way too long to get going, wasting the first 30 minutes on a twist so obvious the trailer didn't even bother to hide it. Once it actually gets to the central idea of cat and mouse between a princess and a dragon, it's a lot stronger, powering through on the momentum of the endless chase. Despite a few big names in the supporting cast, Millie Bobby Brown really carries this. There's some really clunky lines of dialogue here, and she delivers them with enough conviction to make them work. Shari Agdashlo voicing the dragon is inspired casting that really helps it get going after the week opening. Juan Carlos Fresnadillo's direction does a lot to help this Netflix original come closer to looking like a real movie compared to a lot of what's come before. It essentially spends the entire runtime alternating between some solid sets, locations, and distractingly low-quality CG with some good individual set pieces and ideas, which remind you this is the director of 28 Weeks Later. So, what's the verdict on Damsel? In my opinion, it's a must-watch for fans of the Western genre and anyone looking for something a little different. With its memorable performances, striking visuals, and thought-provoking themes, this film is sure to leave a lasting impression. So grab your popcorn, kick back, and enjoy the ride. Thanks for tuning into our review of Damsel. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more movie content. And as always, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, happy watching.